Hello everyone, welcome to TTV News with some latest events in TayNinhTV province. Ladies and gentlemen, TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union has just said that during the peak of July's gratitude, the youth unions at some level throughout the province have focused on effectively implementing activities giving back to the cause with a total economic value of nearly 3 billion Vietnam dong.
In particular, the highlight of this pavement is the activities of embellishment, cleaning, offering incense, flowers, and lighting candles of gratitude at town cemeteries in the province. They organize for union members and young people to visit and give gifts to heroic Vietnamese mothers, wounded and sick soldiers, policy families, receiving lifelong support for heroic Vietnamese mothers, organizing activities of returning the roots, listening to historical talks, giving houses of kindness and compassion, medical examination, drug supply, gift giving to policy families, people in difficult circumstances. According to the assessment of the Provincial Youth Union, activities in the pigment this year were solemnly implemented by the youth unions at all levels, bringing many practical and effective meanings. 2023, the government Decree number 10 amended and supplementing a number of articles of decrees guiding the implementation of the land law is officially applied, which has had many positive impacts on the land registration office system in the province. According to the Provincial Land Registration Office, since Decree number 10 has been implemented from the end of May until now, the pressure from land registration office system has decreased significantly. Accordingly, the authority to issue land use rights certificates to individuals and households is assigned to branches in districts, towns, and cities instead of gathering at the Provincial Land Registration Office. Leaders of the Provincial Land Registration Office affirmed that people will be issued land use rights certificates, also known as Red Book, more convenient and quickly than before. Implementing the decree, the Provincial Land Registration Office has strengthened personnel and specialized training for district, town, and city branches to directly handle transactions. In the last time, some secretary of quarter party sales and quarter heads of downtown wards have related on the inadequacy of the voter population situation in recent voter meetings. Accordingly, there are many cases where city residents have sold their houses and moved to live and work elsewhere, but still keep the city household register. The fact that people keep the city household registration for some personal reasons, however, makes it difficult to manage administration. In many cases, the whole family has moved away for a long time, no longer living in the locality, but the confirmation of identity and relatives still return to the locality, so inadequacies arise. Mr. Limite, Secretary of the Party Committee, informed the people as follows. Currently, the city is accelerating the completion of the implementation of issuing citizen identity cards with electronic chips. This is also an opportunity for the city to investigate and re-statistic the population database in the city. Transport activities in July maintain good growth. Currently, summer tourism enters the peak season. The demand for sightseeing and vacationing of people increases. Transportation of agricultural harvest has ended, but the production of some other enterprises tends to increase, so the demand for freight also increases slightly. Specifically, revenue from transportation, warehousing, and transport support services in July was estimated at 363 billion Vietnam dong, up nearly 0.8% over the previous month, in which passenger transport reached 127 billion Vietnam dong, up nearly 1.3%. Freight transportation reached 220 billion Vietnam dong, up 0.52% over the previous month.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of August 13, Bảo Việt Life TayNinhTV organized the program by ordering to list the way raising the staff of success and received the title of the best work life in Asia.
In 2023, among 650 enterprises nominated for the award, Bảo Việt Life is a pure Vietnamese life insurance company that has maintained the title of Best Workplace in Asia from 2018 to now. This is the fifth time Bảo Việt Life company is honored to receive this prestigious international title award. In addition, Bảo Việt Life is also proud to win the award, the Best Employee Care Enterprise, once again affirming the right development strategy of the company when always putting the interests of customers and employees first. At the conference, delegates also heard speaker Joanna Han Nguyen share more about the financial consulting profession, hoping that with the humanistic meaning and values that the financial consulting profession brings to the community, along with the ideal working environment at Bảo Việt Life, customers will have more choice to develop their careers in the future. In the academic year of 2023-2024, TayNinhTV Vocational College enrolls 815 targets into levels of college and intermediate with 15 professions. Specifically for the college level, the school enrolls 245 students to change careers including metal cutting, industrial electricity, business accounting, database management, automotive technology, and air conditioning engineering, air conditioning. For the intermediate level, the school enrolls 570 students to train in 15 professions including metal cutting, industrial electricity, business accounting, database management, computer network administration, machine repair, welding, mechanical installation, maintenance of mechanical system, manufacturing mechanical equipment, industrial electronics, air conditioning engineering, automotive technology, restaurant operations, and tourism management. The application period is now until August 31st, 2023. Subjects of admission for the intermediate system are students graduating from secondary school, high school, or equivalent. For the college level, students have graduated from high school or equivalent.
Ladies and gentlemen, strictly following the directions of the Ministry of Public Security, recently the police of Tây Ninh City has implemented phase number 1 of the temporal control plans of vehicle carrying passenger and container rates in order to improve the responsibilities of driver and owners of passengers transport enterprises, contributing to reducing traffic accidents, correcting violations of owners and drivers. The city travelers police team has organized propaganda and signed a commitment to implement regulations on ensuring traffic safety for transport businesses in Tây Ninh City.
According to statistics of TayNinhTV City Police, there are currently 18 passenger transport enterprises and 12 container cargo enterprises with more than 900 drivers. Most vehicles involved in transporting passengers comply well with the provisions of the law on road traffic in managing vehicles and drivers to ensure absolute safety for passengers. In addition, there are still some means of transporting goods that have not complied with regulations on proper transportation of vehicle owners, parked at the wrong place, overspeeding. In the first 6 months of 2023 in Tây Ninh City, there have been 5 traffic accidents, killing 1 person, injuring 4 people. Regarding the sanction of tractor trucks, make a record of 47 cases, improve 5 vehicles. The main violations are overloading, diverting without signal, with passenger cars making a record of 2 cases. With the goal of raising people's awareness in obeying the provisions of the law when participating in traffic and minimizing casualties caused by traffic accidents involving passenger cars and trucks, as well as responding to the peak of general control of vehicles of passenger carrying and cargo transportation by container, the police of Tây Ninh City organized propaganda and signed commitments at a number of transport businesses with extremely useful propaganda contents to business owners, especially drivers. Through the propaganda on the law on traffic control, the city police also target specific objects for those who transport business aims to regulate requirements and conditions in transport activities. In particular, it emphasizes the regulations on alcohol and road content while operating vehicles and warning that at present, information technology is applied in violation handling activities, so it is necessary to raise the sense of compliance so as not to be handled for penalty violations. At the propaganda session, the police of the city have clearly informed transport business owners and drivers about the work of ensuring traffic order and safety in the city in recent years, incorporating images and information related to serious traffic accidents, emphasizing alcohol-related accidents, thereby helping drivers as well as businesses comply with regulations when participating in passenger and cargo transportation activities. After listening to the information provided by propaganda officials, drivers are also aware that the behaviors mentioned in the commitment are on mistakes that drivers are easy to make. So through the propaganda session and signing the commitment is also a time to help drivers remember and try to strictly comply with traffic safety laws. TayNinhTV City Police determined that propaganda contributes to raising the awareness and sense of law observance of car owners and drivers. Joining hands to build civilized traffic awareness and safety is a very important issue in ensuring traffic order and safety. To minimize accidents, the unit has organized many propaganda and signing conferences for businesses and drivers doing transport business. So far, 34 owners and 904 drivers have signed the commitment. In the coming time, implementing phase 2 of the peak control of passenger carrying and goods transportation by containers from August 15 to October 15, the unit will focus on handling violations in the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, administrative reform has always been identified by the Party Committee and authorities of Tân Lập Khmer Nhung, Tân Bình districts as a key and top task. Thanks to the promotion of administrative reform, responsibilities and working practice of careers and civil servants in the commune have been significantly improved, contributing to creating a favorable environment for people when performing administrative transactions.
Promoting and prioritizing administrative reform, Tân Lập Khmer Nhung has implemented many synchronous solutions, implementing the code of conduct of officials, civil servants, and employees in state agencies, tighten administrative discipline, renew margins and working slate, create a strong and positive trend in the performance of official duties of carriers, civil servants, employees of communes. Administrative regulations and procedures are posted fully, openly, and transparently at the one-stop shop department, and the commune's electronic portal, helping people and businesses conveniently come to work. 100% of administrative procedures under the competence of the Commune Appeals Committee are received and returned results at the one-stop shop department. In order to perform this work well, the commune also focuses on promoting the application of information technology in handling administrative procedures. Policy the phone number of the leader of the Commune Appeals Committee, place the comment box right at the one-stop shop department to record people's reflections and suggestions on the handling of administrative procedures, working attitude of civil servants. In recent years, the commune has focused on directing the administrative reform of the commune. The purpose is to create the most favorable conditions for people to contact. Currently, the commune has implemented level 3, level 4 in the commune. Through the implementation of public services, it has restricted travel for people, convenient for people not to have to go to state agencies to perform their public services. As a result, in the first 6 months of the year, the total number of applications received at the receiving and returning department was 1,692 applications. 100% of applications were processed on time. There were no late applications backlogs. The Department of Receiving and Returning Results actively coordinates with relevant agencies and units to settle, return results, and support organizations and individuals to use level 3 online public services, promote propaganda, dissemination, and guidance on electronic payments, create favorable conditions for people and businesses in cashless payment in the commune. In addition to the advantages, there are still difficulties because Tân Lập is a border commune, so the propaganda and guidance of people is still slow. The majority of people who come to make the procedure are not young people much, but mainly old people, which is the difficulty in guidance. In the coming time, in order to maintain and improve the quality of administrative procedure reform, overcome difficulties, Tân Lập Commune will focus on improving administrative reform discipline and civil service ethics towards building an open, transparent government apparatus, creating a driving force for economic development, contributing to improving the income and life of people in the area.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.